Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Google Guardians Online Learning Academy. This session is for Chromebook Basics with Miss Kristen from EBR. Hi, Miss Kristen. Thank you so much for doing this for us today.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to do this. I just love helping out parents as I'm a parent myself. So I'm excited to be a part of this. And thank you, Nikki, for the opportunity to present this information to you.
You're absolutely welcome. Okay, I'm going to back off now and let you take it away.
Thank you so much. So good evening, parents. My name is Ms. Kristen Robert, and I'm presenting to you Chromebook Basics. Currently, I serve as a district literacy specialist for East Baton Rouge Parish School System. So a little bit about me. I am currently a district literacy specialist, but I taught ELA and social studies for 10 years. I was honored as a 2019 East Baton Rouge Parish District Middle School Teacher of the Year. I also won a Community Service Award, the H. Norman Siraj III Award, which is presented to one Louisiana teacher for all of their community service that they did across the state. I'm also a Google Certified Level 1 candidate. I am certified by the State Board of Education as a content and mentor leader. And what that pretty much means is I'm an expert at my content in ELA, but I'm also a mentor to different teachers around the state. And I currently work in East Baton Rouge Parish Schools. But most importantly, the title that I wear the most is mom. And so when Nikki presented this opportunity for me to present, I definitely was on board because as a parent myself, learning Chromebooks as an educator, I thought that this would be an awesome opportunity to kind of share the things that I thought as a parent I needed to know in order to help my students and also to be more efficient as a parent during this virtual hybrid learning. And so as we begin, we're going to do a quick tour of the Chromebook. And so we're going to start with these first set of slides. So first of all, Chromebook benefits. One thing as a parent that I love about the Chromebook is that it's inexpensive and it's easy to use. And not only does it run on Windows, but it runs on Chrome OS. So what that means is this. Typically, when you have Microsoft products, you have to kind of buy the Word, the Excel, the PowerPoint, or you have to buy it in a bundle, and you have to pay every year to renew it. Whereas with Google, once you activate a Google account, you have access to Google Docs, Google Spreadsheets, Google Slides, and Google Forms. And everything is saved on the web. So you can access the documents from your Chromebook and your cell phone with the Chrome app. So again, if you have a Google account, I can pretty much be working on a document on my computer. And if my son needed help with something, I can easily go into the same document and help him answer the question or vice versa. And so let's take a look at using the keyboard. So as you can see, looking at the keyboard, it's kind of different from your typical PC. And so we're just going to look at the different buttons. You have the escape button, the back button, which you can go back to another tab, the forward button where you can move forward, refresh. As you know, sometimes our tabs get stuck or they spin or they're lagging, as the kids say. So you press the refresh button, full screen to make it really, really big. And with an overview button, what that does is it presents all of the different screens that's on your Chromebook. So if you have two different tabs open, when you click the overview button, it will show all of the tabs that you have open in a square model. Brightness, with the lower, with the little circle, it makes it darker. And with the bigger circle, it makes it brighter. The mute button, as we know, press mute so you don't hear anything or no one hears you when you're speaking. The volume down button, it lowers the volume. Volume up, it raises up. And the power button. This button here with the magnifying glass is another indicator to search. And as you know, you have your touchpad here. So on the left side, you can click. The right side, you would double click, and you can use this as a mouse. So now we're going to take a look at the Chromebook ports. Different Chromebook models have slightly different ports. However, they are located maybe on different sides, but they kind of have the same thing. So we're going to look at the charging port. It's going to be a little circle with a cylinder inside of it. that you can charge. Your HDMI cable is pretty much the cable where if you plug that wire in and connect it to the television or to like an Apple TV box or a Roku box, whatever you have on your Chromebook, it can be presented to the television. Your USB port is for your flash drives. So even though people don't typically use USBs with PCs or things of that nature, you can still use those on your Chromebook. The SD card reader is for your memory cards if you take pictures with cameras. So if you want to take the pictures off of the memory card from like a Samsung or Android phone or a camera, you can plug that into the Chromebook and it will be able to pull up. And then again, you have uh, a insert there where you have a headset or microphone you can plug in. On the other side, you have a lock port. And typically your lock port is to make sure that the keys or the keys, I'm trying to describe it. It's like when you click the lock port, it makes sure that your keys are sticking, and your USB port, again, you can plug in a flash drive. And so now we're going to look at taking care of a Chromebook, proper maintenance. So we do know that our kids have our Chromebooks and they like to eat probably hot Cheetos or candy or drink sodas or Powerades or Gatorades. And so we want to make sure we look at the tips to take care of our Chromebooks. So the first thing we want to do is to keep your Chromebook on a flat surface. You want to make sure that it's not on something hard, because even though it is inexpensive and really durable, if it is on a rocky surface, it can possibly damage the screen or the hard drive that's underneath it. You also want to keep your keyboard and your screen clean when you close your Chromebook. So you want to wipe it with a soft cloth to make sure that you don't get any food or particles stuck in the buttons so they can stick. Also, keep food and drinks away from your Chromebook. As you know, different type of food products or different type of drinks, it can spill into your device and damage it. Secure your Chromebook when you travel to a new class or location. So they have cases that you can get on Amazon or even Dollar General or Walmart, Target. And you can put the Chromebook in a case, whether it's a cotton case or a hardback case, just like you would do a cell phone. And last but not least, plug in your Chromebook when you go to sleep. So you want to plug in your Chromebook because a lot of times Google does different updates at night. And sometimes your school, your kids' schools, they may do updates on Fridays or on the weekends. And so when you plug in the Chromebook and it goes to sleep, then it will automatically update.
Hey, Kristen, we had a question.
Yes.
For carrying cases, some of the kids have to bring a case or bring the computer back and forth. Is there a specific kind of case that you think parents would do, but like soft one, hard one? Which one do you think would be better?
So there was a case that I got off of Amazon. It's like a hardback case. It's almost like an OtterBox for the Chromebook. And it costs like maybe 15 to 20 bucks. I found that case was more durable because how it's made, it's plastic, but on the edges of the Chromebook, like if this was a Chromebook on the four corners, it's like a rubber buffer. So when you drop it, it bounces off or it's hard to crack.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. And so now we're going to take a look at the accessibility features and how to access the different tools. So let's take a look at the Chromebook Desktop. Important terms that you need to know: launcher, which launches your Google search bar; shelf, which is this. It's similar to the taskbar on a Windows. You can pin or unpin apps to your shelf. Status area in settings. So it's this little area here. When your Chromebook pops up, you can check your Wi-Fi status, the battery life, and other settings. Also, if you click on the lower right corner to access the status area, it'll let you know how the help button, how to lock your Chromebook, and how to shut it down. Also, as you can see, it lets you know Bluetooth disabled and where you can be, what type of Wi-Fi you're connected at. Now, to pin an help to your shelf, you want to click on the launcher button here, click on the word apps, Find the app you want to pin and then hold the Alt key down while clicking the touchpad on the app you want to join, and then left click the pin to shelf. So these are examples of pins that's on the shelf. And what you can do is you can easily just, if you touch the button, it'll bring you to Google. So for example, this pin is a Google Doc. It'll bring you to the Google Docs. Here, it'll bring you to a YouTube. Here, it will bring you to the Google search, your Gmail, and Google Chrome. And if you want to remove an app from your shelf, hold the Alt key on your keyboard while clicking the touchpad on the app that you want to join, and then select unpin, and boom, it's disappeared. It's gone. And so getting to know your Chromebook, on the status bar that I showed you here on this particular slide, you have your sign out button. So this is where you would sign out, power it off, is next to it. And like I said before, to take care of it, you want to make sure that you do turn it off at times because the Google can update. Also, 3 is the Wi-Fi setting. So to let you know the different Wi-Fi connections that you are around. And with the Chromebook, when you automatically log onto a Wi-Fi, it remembers it forever. The only time that it will forget it is if you choose to disconnect it. Also, Bluetooth on. So if you have a microphone that works off of Bluetooth, you can make sure you turn it on, connect your microphone there, and it will allow you to speak through there. Also, it's really beneficial with your cell phone. So if I wanted to share a hotspot, or if I wanted to share something on the Chromebook from my phone, it will automatically pick up that Bluetooth address, and vice versa. This button talks about the notifications on the app. So let's say, for instance, you have your Gmail on the shelf, and every time you get an email, in the corner right here, it's going to pop up with every email that comes on. 4 is your volume adjustment, lower or higher. If it's plugged in, your audio, if you have headphones or a microphone or something of that nature. 6 is your brightness adjustment, and 7 is your battery life. And of course, you have the date there. Also, with the keyboard, you can change the keyboard based upon your ethnicity or your origins of where you come from. So you can make the keyboard Spanish or Arabic or Vietnamese or any type of language that's conducive for your family. And so how do I add a user? So you can sign in by adding a user. So at the bottom of the shelf, on the settings, you can click add user at the bottom bar, and you just sign in with your Google account and password. So that's how you sign into your Chromebook. You would sign in using your Google account or password. Or if you are working with a school, most schools are connected to Google themselves, and that will suffice. So I know, like for my school system, ebrschools.org, we have a Google address that's synced to the students' accounts. So when they log in, it's automatically connected to their cloud. And to browse as a guest. So guest mode is useful if you want to let someone borrow your Chromebook, or if you're borrowing someone's Chromebook. I know a lot of times with the kids, somebody forget their Chromebook at home, and they go to their neighbor's house and say, hey, can I borrow this Chromebook to do my assignment or what have you? So if you are signed in the Chromebook, you would sign out. And then when you go to log in again, you would click browse as guest in the bottom bar. What happens is this: when you browse as a guest, any information that is saved on that particular profile, you won't be able to get it back. So it's automatically erased. Now, if you're signed in the Chromebook, of course, anything that you work on under that Chromebook profile, it will be there. So for example, if I was signed into my Chromebook and Nikki needed to do an assignment, if she does it under my profile, everything will be saved to my drive or my cloud. Versus if she used browse as the guest, she could save it under her drive or her cloud. And so going back to switching between accounts. So let's say, for instance, I'm still logged in and Nikki wanted to use my Chromebook. In order to switch between different accounts, you want to go to the left-hand icon on your Chromebook. You tap your user icon, click on your username, then tap sign in with another user. That person would then log in with their Gmail or school account and their password. And then you pick the profile you want to switch to and type in the password. And then again, if you want to sign out, you sign out. So again, with the Google Chromebooks, one of the things you need to understand is once you are signed in, it will automatically save your password and things of that nature. Now, how to store information. So again, files must be saved in the cloud, for example, the Google Drive, or using an external storage device like a USB stick. So again, when you log into your Google Chromebook, your drive is automatically connected. But sometimes, like for me as a parent, I like to use a USB drive stick because I know I just like to keep a backup of the backup of the backup. So what you would do is you would plug your USB into one of the USB ports. Your Chromebook will recognize the device, so it may say USB-D or USB-K, and then you save your document there. Your Chromebook will then, you will be prompted with the Files app, and then you open up your Files app, and then that's where the document will lie. So it's almost similar to Microsoft Word in a sense where when you have a file that you want to save, it will automatically click on to open the files, and you just save it by clicking on your USB port address, like USB, it may say like USB-D or USB-K. Every flash drive has a different address indicator. And so again, to store information on the Files app, you can manually open the Files app by doing the following. You click on the launcher, then click on All Apps, open the File app, and then you click on the device to see your files. So at the launcher that's on the shelf, as you can see, it'll look something like this. And you just click on Open the Files app, and all of your files will be listed there. And so we talked about the USB drive, the USB stick, I'm sorry, and now we're talking about the Google Drive. So Chromebooks use Google Drive instead of Microsoft Office Suite or the OneDrive. And a Google Drive is a web-based program that allows you to store, create documents, spreadsheets, and presentations using a Google account. And so later on this week, you'll be hearing some more information regarding a Google Drive, how to use it effectively. So just tune in later this week for that information.
Yes, we will have Jessica Wagner coming on Friday at 7 o'clock. She is going to be going over how to use Google Drive and how to use those attachments. And Google Drive is, I'm at the point now where I don't use USBs. All I use is Google Drive because it's so convenient.
It is so convenient, and I can access it anywhere. I know my documents will not disappear, or if the Chromebook crashes or a computer crashes, I'm going to lose them. So I just absolutely love Google Drive.
Me too. I have the Google Drive app on my phone, and I've used that way more than I would have thought I would have used it.
Yeah, I have. Like, I can definitely say that when I am working on something, waiting in carpool, I can click on my drive and finish working on my document. Or if I run across something, I can save it. So I absolutely love the Google Drive.
Hashtag multitasking.
Yes. And so just a little brief indicator on how to store files using the Google Drive. You just click on the Google Chrome icon located at the lower left corner. Go to http://drive.google.com. Log into your account, and once you're signed in, you click the waffle to access your apps. And honestly, when you're logged on to Google Chrome, you would just click this cute little triangle right here. That's what it looks like to me. And that is your drive. And so when you click it from the waffle, it automatically pops your drive up. And so next thing, the Chrome Web Store, installing apps and extensions. And so apps, Chromebooks run web apps instead of software programs similar to the smartphone. And so to access your apps, you're going to click this little magnifying glass. It's the launcher next to Google Chrome and all of those things. But You're going to click the launcher at the bottom of the left-hand corner or press the search key. You will see Google search bar and some commonly used apps. And to see any pre-installed apps, you would click all apps. And then, as you can see, these are some examples of apps that may be automatically popped up on your Google Chromebook. But if you want to install other apps, you will go to the web store. And that's kind of like where you will find all of your Google Play indicators, different things like dictionary.com or thesaurus.com, different educational apps. Like some of my favorites are Khan Academy for math, or, you know, just different things that I have used with Calvin in the past. Calvin's my son. And so here are some common apps for usage. We have Google Docs, which is kind of similar to Microsoft Word. It's creating a document. Google Sheets, similar to Excel in numbers on Apple. Create a presentation, Google Slides. You have PowerPoint and Keynote. Take a note, Google Keep. I absolutely love Google Keep. It's like the sticky notes to my life. Google Play Music, similar to iTunes and Windows Media Player. If you want to edit a photo, you open the image from files and go to Google Drawings. Google Hangouts. I love Google Hangouts. I can say that because anyone with a Google account, I'm able to talk to, or even Google Meet, I'm able to have that access with. Write an email would be Gmail. Organize your calendar would be Calendar. Find and save files would be Files, or you go to the Google Drive. And then to access another computer, you will go to Chrome Remote Desktop, which would be the cute little ball. And to uninstall an app, again, you will click on the launcher, click all apps, hold down the Alt key while clicking on the app you want to delete, and then select uninstall or remove from Chrome. And 5, last but not least, you have some Chromebook shortcuts. So this is the fun stuff that as a parent, I wish I knew, but I learned over time with the help of my son and just figuring things out, tinkering on the Chromebook. So when you go back to replay this, this is probably the best thing ever to remember. I use Control C for copy, Control V for paste, Control X for cut, different things it helps me out with. So this key, the dock window left and right, is really good if I want to have 2 different screens. Screenshot, Control Shift in the overview button. I'm sorry, I had a brain freeze. And reopen a closed tab, Control Shift T, because sometimes if you don't update your Chromebook, your tabs are closed, and then Google will say, hey, do you want to reopen tabs? So some of these things I wish I knew before. I definitely would love for other parents to learn about. And so how to take a screenshot. So sometimes as parents, we definitely want to get some good information, right? While people are presenting, like myself, or, you know, we're watching a video and we're like, hey, I want that information. And so on the Chromebook, you would take a screenshot by pressing Control in the show window screen here, this button. And to take a partial screenshot, you will press the Shift, Control, and show windows button, and then you click and drag. And to take a screenshot on the tablets, you'll press power button and the volume button down. And the next thing, speech to text features. So it's almost like Siri, but not really. But here are some steps to text to speech. At the bottom right, you will select the time, or you press Alt-Shift-S and select Settings here. And then you would select Advanced. In the Advanced section, there's the Accessibility section, and you would select Manage Accessibility Features. Under text-to-speech, you would turn on Enable Select to Speak. And so when you talk to your computer, it will automatically process what you are saying, and you can go back and edit if the dialect or the accent wasn't picked, well, I'm sorry, if the computer picked up your accent or your dialect and they didn't spell the word correctly, then you would definitely go back and edit what you have to say. But text to speech is really good because, let's say, for instance, you're listening to someone present and you're trying to get everything. You can activate this and on a Google document or even a Google slide. It will lay everything out with what you want to say. It's better for you to use a Google Doc, of course, because you're using it for notes, but it will definitely say everything that you need in terms text to speech. And so that is the end of my presentation. Are there any questions for me?
No, but the screenshots thing was something that I have struggled with. I kept Googling, I couldn't figure it out. And then even when I did, I kept forgetting how to do it. So the shortcuts and the screenshots are, to me, that's gold. I love that.
Yes, it's one of my, let me tell you, the screenshots and the shortcuts, they really help me out because a lot of times we're so used to desktops, right? When we grew up and we're like, oh, I don't have a mouse. I can't do this. I can't click or cut or drag and drop, but you actually can. And so that's the one thing I love about the shortcuts because I don't have to carry around all of those bulky things. I can just press Shift, Control, or Control C, Control V, and automatically I have what I need. Or even, like I said, with the screenshot, very golden. That's screenshots, awesome. And this is another thing. When you take a screenshot, it automatically goes into your files under downloads and it stays there forever. It does not disappear. So if you ever forget something and you're like, hey, I had that screenshot from that project, let me go back and see it. It will still be there. It's really beneficial if you are, helping your kids put together projects or things of that nature.
Excellent. We do have a question. Someone asked, how accurate is that text to speech? Do you find that you have to go and make a lot of corrections or is it fairly accurate?
So I'll say this. My accent, for me, I would say 75%, maybe 80% accurate. I would have to speak clearly for them to get 100%, but I do find that depending on your accent, it varies on certain words. Like I could say, can I have that paper? And instead of it separating it'll put it all together. And
right. So enunciation is going to have to be.
Enunciation. So it'll spell paper. I have that
problem on my phone that you can't read half of what I'm saying because I speak so fast in my country accent. Sometimes it doesn't hear it.
Yes. So enunciation and speaking clearly helps to get the accuracy.
Awesome. Well, this was so great, Kristen. Thank you so much for taking the time to help our parents figure out how to take care of Chromebooks.
Thank you so very much. And again, if you have any questions, any tips, you need any tips, you can email me at misskrobear@gmail.com. My Twitter, Miss K Robert, and my teacher Instagram at that's Miss Robert to you.
That's cute. And this video, if you weren't able to watch it live, that's okay. You can watch it later. It will exist on this channel at the same link for ever and ever. So we hope to see you at some sessions that we have coming up and see you soon.
See you soon. Thanks.